The White Georgette Blouse is a story that revolves around two female friends who are very dissimilar in character and personality. Amber is a vivacious, beautiful 28-year-old air hostess. Faye, on the other hand, is a mousy, unassuming 28-year-old nurse. Amber lives her life very much in the proverbial fast lane and often treads on the feelings and goodwill of decent people who come into her life. Amber's relationship with Kane, a successful accountant and stockbroker, typifies Amber's lack of decorum and consideration for other people's feelings and welfare, regardless of their devotion and love for her. Kane has the misfortune of being besotted by Amber. He is fascinated by her verve and appetite for life. Amber exploits Kane's vulnerability to the fullest and eventually dumps him for a fun-loving wheeler dealer who jets her off to Southeast Asia with glittering promises of the good life. Faye, Amber's lifelong friend and flatmate, is left to tell Kane that Amber has decided to leave him for her newfound boyfriend and has decided to go to Southeast Asia to live with him. Kane finds Amber's rejection rather difficult to handle in spite of Faye's tact and kindness when she passes Amber's message of rejection on to him. A platonic friendship develops between Faye and Kane. The friendship eventually blossoms into a loving relationship which culminates in marriage. Several months later, we find Faye living happily with Kane in great comfort and serene loveliness, and heavily pregnant with Kane's child. Faye puts out an advert in a quality newspaper for a live-in nanny or mother help. To her greatest surprise, Amber turns up at her door late one morning in response to the advert. She recounts to Faye how disastrous her trip to Southeast Asia turned out to be. She also told Faye how her erstwhile boyfriend turned out to be a drug dealer who ended up in jail. She herself was in jail for 20 months as an accomplice to her boyfriend's drug dealings. The British Embassy eventually managed to secure her release. She returns to Britain penniless and a broken woman. Faye explains to Amber how Kane and she became friends after she left. Faye explains that a white Georgette blouse she wore on Kane's 42nd birthday was the trigger that made Kane able to talk about his sad childhood. He said Faye's Georgette blouse made him remember his mother, whose great beauty he still remembered. Kane explained that his father had brought his mother a Georgette blouse, which she often wore to church on Sundays. The blouse spurred Kane to propose marriage to Faye and live life anew with Faye as his wife. Amber listens with great interest, but brushes tears of sad regret away as Faye ends her story. Amber, a renewed person, wishes Faye great happiness in her married life. With newfound wisdom, Amber tells Faye that it was not the Georgette blouse that made Kane decide to share his life with Faye. It was rather the accessory of Faye's loving heart that had earned her the right to be Kane's beloved spouse.